Hey guys, how's it going? Chitto back here for some more Sirui mods. Maybe not really mods this time, but upgrades and extras. Today, I'm gonna talk about diopters and how they improve your minimum focus and anamorphic character. I'm also talking about wide-angle adapters, which were a great trick on the 50mm lens to get a little extra field of view. I'm giving you some options and show you what to get, so stay tuned. Before we get going, would you kindly like this video and help me out? Thank you. This 35mm does not have a great minimum focus for its focal length, 85cm or 2'8". As I explained in my full review, this has to do with the performance of the anamorphic block. You'll get a better explanation by watching that video. There's a link in the description and a card on the screen for it. Diopters or close-up filters address this issue by limiting your focus range. They come in multiple flavors, and the set that I'm using here has 4 filters with different powers: +1, +2, +4, and +10. The increasing numbers define how close you can focus. For reference, this is a Vivitar set and it costed me 15 bucks at B&H. Link in the description. With the +1, you can focus up to 1 meter or 3 feet. +2 is 0.5 meters or 1'6". +4 is 25 centimeters or just under a foot, and +10 is 10 centimeters or 4 inches. When using these filters, you cannot focus past these distances, so you quickly get super close to your subject. I mainly use the +1 and +2 since they work well with the 35mm focal length and complement the lens's minimum focus. I'll pop in a +4 or +10 every once in a while for a very stylized shot. When using these guys, especially the stronger ones, stop down your aperture. If you're worried about bokeh, diopters actually make bokeh more pronounced. Look at the ovals in this shot without any diopters. We're at minimum focus, 85 centimeters. Now, the same thing with a +1. The difference is subtle in this case, but as soon as we go for the +2 and move in a little bit, you can start to see bokeh bloom. My favorite thing about using diopters on a focal length like 35mm is that you still get a nice angle of view and setting for your subject. A longer focal length will just melt everything away, but your subject. Speaking of angle of view, 35mm is nice, but since we're talking about anamorphic, everyone wants to go wider. Am I right? Here's a proposition. How about you subscribe to the channel and I'll show you how to go wider with the Sirui. I've been at this subject for years. So, going wider. On the 50mm, I started using a 0.8 times wide angle adapter in front of my setup to get some extra wideness with wideness. I combined that with shooting full frame and cheating with Sony's clear image zoom. That made the lens sensibly wider. I'm sad to say you can't do both tricks at the same time on the 35mm. Sirui's tolerances were much tighter. Just like the 50, this lens is also designed for Super 35, which means 1.5 times crop on full frame. If I mount it on full frame and use clear image zoom to get rid of vignetting, I can get to 1.3 times crop instead of 1.5. But as soon as you add the wide angle adapter, you get more vignetting, and this only worsens when you add additional filters. To crop out the vignette, you have to step up to 1.5 times on the zoom, and that's standard Super 35. So make your choice, either clear image zoom or wide angle adapter. Never both. For the non-Sony crowd, that's great since you're not missing out on anything. In the 50mm video, I used a Century Optics 0.8 times compact wide angle adapter. That's a big name for a small thing. But since then, I also got myself a Fujinon 0.8 times wide converter WCV-82SC. Really, I love these codes for the names. You'll find both eBay searches for these filters in the description. They're quite rare and not super cheap, but they don't destroy image quality. So I figured I could test one against the other on the Sirui 35 and check if the field of view is the same. It turns out they both add a little vignette, but the Fujinon is much cleaner than the Century. They get the same field of view and sharpness performance. An interesting thing to see is that they affected the lens's focus. Without the wide angle adapter, focus was at 1.1 meter, 3.5 feet, and when we added the adapters, focus had to be adjusted to 1.5 meters or 5 feet. This applies to both adapters. But I'd like to add these are only 2 models in a sea of options. If you have a wide angle adapter you're using with a Sirui 50 or 35, please leave a comment below. I know a lot of people are trying these left and right, so it's good to know which ones work and which ones don't. That's my favorite thing about you guys, how you help each other. It motivates me to keep making these videos. Speaking of making these videos, I want to remind you that I make these because I believe this info should be shared. If you believe on the same thing and you want to be a part of the Anamorphic on a Budget project, consider becoming a member of the channel. The button is right below and the first tier costs $2.99 a month. That is less than a bus fare for you, and it helps me greatly with the cost of making these videos. If a subscription is not your thing, check the description for a PayPal link for one-time donations. Your generosity goes a long way to ensure I can keep delivering high-quality information. If you're not ready to commit yet, you can start by subscribing to the channel, liking and sharing the videos. I'm sure eventually you'll be convinced that the content here is unlike anything else. That's it for me today. Thank you for your time and I hope you have a great week. Chit of Heathens out.